All right, so what you need is a roll of the paper mache paper, a cup of water, sponge. Sponges are behind the sink. You'll see a whole mess of them. They're cut small. You need scissors. And you need a piece of paper to go underneath to protect the table and your letter. So what you're going to start with is wet your sponge. You don't want it dripping. You want it just like you were going to wash the table. So you want to squeeze it out. Then you're going to cut 4-inch strips. You don't want them any longer than 4 inches. So about, that works. Cut about 4 to start. You don't want to cut more than that because you'll just end up wasting. Say the class ends. You don't want like 15 of them cut. So you can just put them to the side. So what you're going to do first is you're going to wet the paper mache piece. Make sure you get the corners. And you have to cut the paper mache pieces. You cannot rip them, or they'll have frayed edges and it won't stick to your letter. So I'm going to do all the flats first. This is a flat. This part's flat right here. Okay, you can see that. This would be considered flat. Okay, this is a curve. This is a corner. This is a corner. Okay, and hold it like this. Put it close to the edge, right about there. And I'm just going to fold it over. Make sure it's completely flat. Crease it there. Fold it over. Make sure it's completely flat. Press it down. And it should look like that. Okay, if you need to squeeze, make sure it's all flat. Take a look. You can see there's no edges popping up. No edges popping up, and there's not a big bubble right here. It shouldn't be looped. It should be flat. So then in my next piece, it's important that you overlap. So I'm going to press this down. Get it wet. I'm going to put this on here and overlap. Notice I'm not doing it like this. I'm overlapping it. Press that down. Make sure this is flat. Make sure this is flat. Make sure this is flat. No gap right here. And then continue to do that all around the flat. So I'm going to do this one flat, and then I'm going to show you how to do a corner. It's still leaking.
Yeah, what'd you do?
You know, banged a pipe. Here we go. Sorry, I was talking to somebody. Here we go. I'm going to wet this, put this here. Flat again. Fold it over. Try not to squeeze these corners together. Again, make sure it's flat, no edges popping up, flat. Now I can do this corner right here. So to do a corner, here we go. This piece has to fit over like this. Okay? So the first thing I need to do is fold the paper in half. If you wet it first, it's just going to stick to itself. Then I open it, then I wet. So what I'm going to do, hopefully you can see this good, I'm going to put this onto the corner. And I'm going to make sure it's stuck to both sides. I'm going to wait, just kind of count to like 10 or something. Then I'm going to take a pair of scissors. And I'm going to cut on that seam right there until I hit the letter. So you can see I can have 2 flaps. You may need to re-wet these. Then I'm going to fold it down. And I'm going to fold it down. Again, making sure everything's flat. Then I'm going to do that to the other side. Cut on the seam until I hit the letter. So I have the 2 flaps. If you need to re-wet, do that. Then I'm going to fold it down, and I'm going to fold it down, making sure everything's flat. Now you can see right here I have a little gap. I can take another piece of the paper mache mix, paper, and wet that, and put this down over it, making sure I cover that gap. Everything's flat. So you're going to do one coat over this entire thing. So all of the cups are hidden, insides too. Then you would start a second coat just on the outsides again. Then we'll worry about the flat areas, covering up to make sure you can see no cardboard or no white. Probably wondering about this inside edge, inside corner. You do the same thing as the outside, but you have to fold it sticky side out. So I'm going to cut. So the sticky side is the shiny side right there. So I'm going to put that on the outside, like so. Then wet it. Then what I can do is the same thing. Put it in the corner, like that. Cut the seam. And then fold it down. And that's how you would do an inside corner. So it would look like that, or an inside edge. The round parts are a little different. To do a round part, if you don't need to do a round part, you can stop the video now. I'm going to just do this side real quick. If you don't need to do a round part, again, stop the video. You can start paper mache. If you need a round part, watch. So a round part, this would be a curved edge right there. You can see that. Regular piece, 4-inch piece, wet. Okay. Put it in place. And you're going to cut 3 cuts. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you're going all the way to the cardboard. Then you're going to work outside in, folding it down so it's nice and flat around the edge of your curve. Flip it over. Do the same thing. Cut 1, 2, 3. So you have the 3, 4 flaps, and I'm going to fold in. I might have to get these a little more of the sponge on it. 2, 3, 4. Make sure they're flat. Then you have to do that all the way around the curve. Okay? Inside is the same thing, but you're just curving it in a different direction. So I'm putting it here like that and cutting the 3 things and folding them down and then going all the way around. And that's how you paper mache your letter.